Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, where you can find freedom from the daily grind through budgeting, simple living, and adventure. It's an early start for me. I'm off to pack and save. I worked an afternoon shift yesterday, so home at midnight and up bright and early. It's actually about 7 o'clock at the moment while I'm driving to pack and save. It looks like the middle of the night though, and it kind of feels like that. It's a grotty, rainy day, but it'll be so good to get some food and top up our cupboards. It feels like a long time. So by the time I get out, the sun has risen and it's daylight, still raining, and have to just quickly pop that stuff away as fast as I can so that it doesn't get too wet before heading home. Awesome, now I'm home. Time to just unpack the groceries. Let's make a bit of space. So let's see, I'm just going to go through as best I can and tell you as I go. So bananas I've got right here. They were $4.04 for 6 bananas. So I'm just going to put them over here straight into the fruit bowl with a few feijoas that we've collected. Let's get rid of that. Some value bread. That is $1.69. And I bought that for 2 reasons. One, I thought I would make kind of little sweet corn baskets. You know, you put the bread into a muffin tray and then put sweet corn and cheese inside it, or you can make little mini quiches and do that as part of a meal. And the other thing was I was looking for stuffing and I couldn't find it. I think it was just cleared off the shelf. I've never made it and I've never bought it before, and I don't know what the ingredients are, and because I don't have a smartphone, like I can't look things up when I'm out and about. But I knew it came from bread, so I thought, well, I can maybe use half for stuffing and half for these other things. If not toasted sandwiches, I don't know. But I will have to look up that recipe very soon. So that's some bread. I've got 2 lots of, let's just call them Wheat Bix for want of a better word, and they were $5.49 each. It's raining. It's so wet out there. That's funny, that's all blistered just from the rain. I wonder what is in this cardboard that makes it do that. Makes it feel like acid rain or something. That's crazy. So 2 of those, $5.49. That is everyone's preferred breakfast at the moment. Into the expensive things. Don't know if I should just do them as I go. I got 20 eggs. Sorry, here we go, eggs. $7.99 each. So that was $15.98 on special. So again, now in New Zealand, eggs have gone, you know, just through the roof. For a while, they were really expensive, and then for a little while, they went back to kind of a more normal egg price, and now they are back to an abnormal egg price. I am very much looking forward to getting chickens. A, you get the fun of having the pet, and B, we're going to get some eggs. I don't know, I just have a lot of empathy for people. Like I see people at the supermarket and yeah, I can just see so many people are struggling, so many people, and it makes me very cross at Pack and Save because they make $1 million profit every day. So why not use eggs as their loss leader rather than beer, or butter as their loss leader rather than beer? I feel like they are really kind of screwing us over. Like it really shouldn't be this hard to do groceries, you know, like we should just be able to go and with a little bit of thought get a healthy diet for something we can afford, not really sitting there adding every single thing up as we go. That's, to me, I feel like they're not being really great humans. So there's quite a few packaged things this week, and that is because it's been causing a bit of conflict not having bought, you know, things like this. Not having these bought products is making someone in my family cross. And I don't really want that, even though I guess you get to a point, I should just say these are $1.49. You know, you get to a point where if someone was independent, this is what they would buy. But they're not quite independent yet, so I don't want to just say, oh, well, it's not my you know, kind of goes against my values a wee bit buying these things. But if I haven't instilled exactly those same values, then that's okay. I don't want to fight about it. You know, I think we're getting to a stage with the age that our children are that we really need to be picking our battles. You know, like it's a tricky time to navigate, isn't it, teenage life? So I want to not be arguing over whether or not we have bought crackers. And I guess if there's going to be any conflict, saving it for something that really, really matters. My husband got some coffee, and this was not on sale, which was a little bit annoying because I remember last time I went to the supermarket, this was on sale, but I ended up putting it back because I thought I was, you know, quite a bit over budget. So I decided not to take it. And now I paid the price, and that price is $7.89. Few things. I've got a jelly here, that's $1.45. I'm just trying to stock up on, you know, some pantry things. And when I did my prepper pantry kind of stock take, jelly was one of the things that they recommended. And I thought, yeah, it's good, it's cheap, it's easy, it only requires boiled water and somewhere cool to make it set. So that's kind of like a nice, easy treat. And I stocked up on veggie, chicken and beef stock. They were all $3.79 on sale. So I went over budget by what, $17, and this was $12. I actually only needed one of those. So there's almost six, so there's over $7 savings in here. So if I really wanted to stick to my budget today and not use any of the extra money, I would have left these behind. But to be honest, actually having a stocked pantry feels more important to me than going out and spending money for a lunch date. Like we will go on a date and we will find something else to do, and I'll let you know in my next cash stuffing video what we end up doing, but it's going to be with reduced money. And that's okay. I feel like it's one of the things I can do. I can just find fun things. They don't cost heaps, but we will have a good time. Here's the next thing I stocked up on. These were on sale, and they're not normally. Again, I normally buy, I think the last time they were on sale, I bought probably about 20. But I just didn't have that money today. But that's okay. So these were $2.99, so all up, they came to $17.94. It's hard to try and fit everything in. It was a decent shop. I don't feel like I, you know, kind of missed out today. Some chocolate buttons. Can't find buttons. Let's talk about the sauce then. $2.35 for some smoky barbecue sauce. And I am going to make a chicken and barbecue sauce pizza. I haven't had that for years. The kids will love it. My husband will love it. We've got some mozzarella cheese and I want to use that up. I love Farmer's Wife Homestead channel, Stacey. And she's going to be doing something about sauces. And I don't know if she's done it before, but I would love to know how to make a barbecue sauce. It seems like it's really easy because it just says flavours and tomato. So I feel like it's tomato sauce with something else added, but I don't know. So learning how to make that from scratch would be cool. So I'm going to have to go back through her videos and see if she has already done that. It's quite possibly she has. I'll just save those for a bit because I can't find where I have, like I can't find them on this list and I don't want to keep you waiting too long. So that's my first bag done. Okay, let's play Guess the Cost of Butter in New Zealand game. It's $8.79 this week. And I really did sit and wait and I thought, oh my goodness, am I really going to buy it? So expensive. Maybe I'll just get margarine because the cheapest margarine is about $1.80. you know, and that would be plenty. But I just don't like the ingredients in margarine, so I decided not to. I have a friend who actually makes her own margarine, so I don't know if that could be a potential going forward. I might have to grab that recipe and have a little try, and then kind of work out the cost. But I would rather butter. If I can stick to butter, I would rather that. So I just sucked it up. But again, if I wanted to stick to my budget, something I could have done. So I'm getting rid of a couple of the stocks and 2 of those, then I'm on budget. Or get rid of one of those and a stock, I'm still on budget. I just decided not to because I just want to have a stocked up pantry. Cheese. So rolling meadow cheese, this is again the most budget cheese that I am able to find at Pack and Save. Whether I can find it here is a completely different killer fish, isn't it? Cross off some of these things. I'm forgetting to do that. Oh, here's my chocolate buttons, $3.99. Rolling meadow cheese, $12.99, and that was the sale price. So again, you know, it's really not that long ago that this would have been under $10 always, just as a standard price. So again, you know, these are 30% increases. And 30% is quite a lot. Imagine if you got a pay rise, a 30% pay rise. How cool would that be? I don't know about you, but when I get a pay rise, it's normally like 2% or 2.5%. So it's certainly not the 30% that Pack and Save are getting on their cheese. But c'est la vie, I'm not bitter, I'm just saying what it is. Okay, so I'm in the protein section, I guess. I saw this tofu on sale, 500 grams of tofu, which is, you know, that's a pretty decent amount. That's 2 meals. That was on sale, and I'll tell you in a tick how much that was. $3.99. So that's $2 per protein, I guess. That's all right, isn't it? So that's 2 meals. Now here's the beef schnitzel I got. There's only 3 pieces, but they're going to be part of a recipe, and that's why I need the stuffing. So $7.14 for that. I will cut. I think they'll be long and skinny. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I'm hoping they're not just as tiny as this. I hope it's just that they're kind of squished up a wee bit. But I will probably be able to bake them into 7 or 8 little things that I'm planning on. And some chicken. Again, this will go half into a stir fry and half onto the pizza. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 protein meals so far. I've got some sausage rolls. We used to make our own sausage rolls, but now pastry is like $5. Sausage meat is $7, and then we would buy mince and vegetables. So you're ending up with, you know, we probably will do it next school holidays because the kids like it as an activity. But as far as like just providing food, crazy prices. Easier just to get this, to be honest. Well, yeah, definitely easier, but also quite a lot cheaper. At least a third of the price, I would say. And for this, I paid, so Pam's beef sausage rolls. They were $7.15. And so I've got a couple of options. I could use, they're kind of into 4 rolls. I could use 2 of them for a dinner, and then the others just cut them up and cook them for school lunches, kids like that. Or I can do 2 dinners, or I could do just heaps of school lunches. Sorry, I'm just going to keep wiping my table because it is a little bit wet. And I got some frozen peas. Frozen peas are probably the only vegetable I don't mind buying frozen. These are a pretty good price, if I can find it. Pam's peas, they're $3.39. That's all right. I tried to grow peas this summer, but I grew so few of them, I couldn't really say that I've grown them. You know, I wouldn't have grown a kg of them. It was a bit pathetic. I don't like frozen vegetables in general. Would I eat them if I couldn't buy other vegetables? Yes, I would. Why do I not really like them? Because my entire life, do you know the vegetables that we got served at home was frozen corn, frozen carrot, and frozen beans. Every night of my childhood. I didn't even have broccoli until I left home, which is kind of crazy, right? We didn't really have cauliflower, we didn't have broccoli, we didn't have cabbage. Yeah, we just had frozen vegetables is basically what it was. And it wasn't that we couldn't afford other vegetables. It was simply, I think my mum just didn't think about it. She didn't really like cooking. So it was never a draw for her to kind of push the boat out and go with something more exotic than the packet of frozen veggies. So not that I wouldn't buy it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my preference. I don't like it. I'm going to have to go and get tea towel. This is getting so wet. Just sit the frozens on there. Okay, so that's 2 bags emptied. This is actually my favourite bag, my bag of buns. This is the one thing I genuinely enjoy buying because I feel like quite the hunter-gatherer. So there's 12 buns here, $6.99 normally, $2 if you get up bright and early. Some Turkish rolls, normally $5.49 but $2. And they're just a 6-pack, but they're really yummy. Everyone loves those. There's another 12 pack. So not as good as a bigger pack like I've got here. And then I've got 16 buns, normally $8.49, $2. So this is what I look for. If I could find 5 of those, that's what I'd buy. It's just that I could only find 2. So I always feel like I've done well when it's buns. So there is $10 worth of buns, super easy. Yeah, it just makes lunch really easy for my family. And on grocery day, everyone kind of expects a treat, and this is the treat. So iced raspberry finger buns, normally $5.49, $2, there's 6 of them. Actually, I better give them a bit of a dry off as well. I packed everything inside Pack and Save, but it was just raining so hard that even just getting from there to the car, everything got a bit drenched. So let me knock off all of these things. That's all of these. So I spent $12 on that, which is all right. I've got some fruit and veg over here. I've got a bag of apples. I didn't have any breakfast before I left because it was so early, but I was really hungry when I finished. So I've already broken into that and had an apple on the way home. That's $5 for those. They're only small, but you know, an apple a day and all that. It's mostly my son that eats those, not me. I'm not actually a massive fruit eater, but I will eat feijoas because I love them. I bought some lemons for lemon honey drinks. I like to make a lemon honey ginger drink if anyone is feeling a little bit under the weather. I actually really like making them a time tea, but they don't really like drinking it. So this is our compromise, lemon honey drink. And if I don't have lemons, what I have been using for myself is apple cider vinegar each morning. And that sounds a little bit gross, but it's actually quite nice. It's meant to be really good for your gut. And I think it's good for keeping away the colds or if you're feeling a bit under the weather. We have planted 2 lemon trees and we do have 3 tiny lemons this year, but certainly not enough to, you know, use for real. And I've got a little broccoli. So let me tell you, lemons were a pretty good price. They were $4. And the broccoli was $1.79. That's all right, isn't it? I've got more fruit and veg, but it is that winter fruit and, you know, like it's real winter stuff now. I've got cauliflower. And a big giant cabbage. So is cabbage our favourite food? Not really. But can I do enough with it to feed everybody and make sure they're still getting vegetables? Yeah. So So I think that's sometimes it. When you're on a budget, you just can't always get everything exactly as you want. This is a really good cauliflower. Lots of the cauliflowers that were in the pile had already started to kind of get that. I don't know if it's mold or if it's just that it goes old, you know, when it gets a bit of black on it. Must be mold or a bit of brown. This is still a really good one. So I don't have any shame at all in kind of fossicking around at all. You know, like if something's not right, I'll tell them about it as well. I bought some wraps a couple of weeks ago. They were on sale. They were only $2. This week, they were still within their date. I looked at one and it had a big patch of mold. So it was only $2. Did I go back? Yeah, I did. I went back and got my $2. I said this, you know, and I would do it now, and I would encourage other people to do it. You know, these people are making $1 million a day off our backs. So why not? If something's not right, you know, like if you buy something and by the time you get it home, it's all squishy and gross, take a little video and email Pack and Save or Woolworths or wherever you shop and just say, hey, I'm disappointed with the quality of your product. I would have expected it to last the week. You know, most people do a weekly shop. That's not an unrealistic expectation, I don't think. So I would encourage everyone just to start, you know, just gently start pushing back a wee bit. It's not about being aggressive. It's just about being, like having some expectations, I guess, for what we expect from our food providers. So that cauliflower was $2.99 and the cabbage was also $2.99. So there's quite a few meals in those, aren't there? Especially that cabbage, it's pretty big. I got potatoes. These were $4.99 for 3 kg, so they're like $1.60 a kg. It's not perfect. We have just this week run out of our potatoes. I will go out into the garden again and just have a little look and see, have I missed anything? You know, sometimes you give it a dig up in summer and you think you've got everything, and then next year you've got potatoes sprouting again, so clearly you didn't. So I will go and do that again, but that is just kind of, that'll be us. We'll use that over the next 2 weeks, definitely. There'll be none of those left, so if I can dig some up, that will help enormously. Got some mushrooms for me. That was $2.07. And this is the rest of my fruit and veg. I've got golden kiwi fruit here. That was $5.49 a kg, and this came to $5.42, so a kg of that. So I have one child who likes apples, one who likes kiwi fruit, so that's basically for them. And then in here I've just got carrots. Again, I do have carrots in the garden, but I don't know how many. So $2.48, I don't know, we'll use these and then hopefully use our own ones. But when they're a good price, I think I'll just buy them. 3 value milks. I probably could have gone for 2, but 3 fits our family better. That came to $12.87 all up, so $4.29 each. And again, if I want to stick within budget, 1 less of these, then that would be down to $200. So again, that's not too bad. It's just for convenience. I do have powdered milk, and that's what I will use in baking. I won't use any of these milks. This is purely for, now everyone likes to be eating wheat bix. It's also kind of porridge weather, so I have oats in the morning. It just, yeah. It's tastier, but it's not impossible to do otherwise. Okay, now I'm down to my, do you know what I've forgotten to get? Toilet paper. I hope we've got enough in the cupboard, otherwise there's another $6 something that I'm going to have to go and spend. Fingers crossed. So I've got a couple of chopped tomatoes. They were about 99 cents. They were exactly 99 cents. So it's $1.98. Oops, that's not chopped tomatoes. There we go, there's 2 of those, 2 chopped tomatoes. I got some value spaghetti. That's $1.89 each, so $1.78 because I bought 2 of those. So that's 2 spaghettis. And once upon a time, I would just, sometimes kids just grab that and have it on toast for breakfast, eh? But the other thing, I don't know so much with spaghetti, but I also have baked beans. But baked beans can also make the base of another meal. So I'm going to start using things like that just to bump up the protein levels, the fillingness, without having to buy the meat. So there's 2 baked beans. So again, 89 cents each. I got a tropical fruit salad. I think just because it was raining, I thought it would be nice. It's $1.65. I got a couple of peaches. These are peaches. Funnily enough, I always thought this was Australian, but these are actually made in New Zealand, so that was good. I try hard not to buy things that are made in China. So, something like tomatoes, every single can of tomatoes is made in Italy. That's just how it is. So that's what I buy. But if it's something like peaches, where we grow peaches and make tin peaches in New Zealand, that's what I will try and do. And so we've done beans, we've done tomato sauce, $1.79. 1 tomato sauce. 2 creamed corns. Now these are a good price. $1.19 each. So $2.38. And like I said, that will make the basis of a meal. So that can either be corn fritters, or what I was thinking this time is the little bread baskets with corn and cheese. To me, that's a perfect kind of Friday night easy tea. I got 1 can of tuna just to add to the stock cupboard. We've got 3 already. But again, this is a meal. This teamed with some pasta and a cheese sauce is one of my kids' favourite meals. Oh, I should tell you how much it was, right? I'm not writing it down. I keep forgetting. So that was on sale. That's $2.99. These were 99 cents. This was $1.79. These are $1.19. What were they? They're 89 cents. And tinned peaches. Oh, these beans here. Hot chili beans, $2.09. If anyone has a really good way to turn baked beans or some other kind of normal tin cheap beans that cost $1 into these beans for less than $2.09, I'd love to know it. That's something my family would be keen on. That's everything, isn't it? I think that's all my bags. Let me have a quick look. Yep, everything. This is all I bought. And that came to $222.27. That's not bad, I don't think. I've got a lot of toiletries. So again, I didn't need 6 toothpastes. I didn't need all the stock. What else did I not really need? I didn't need tomato sauce. I do have a couple of those in the cupboard. I didn't need tuna because I have 3 of those already. And I didn't really need tin fruit because I do also have tin fruit in the cupboard. Should be the right one there, $1.89. So that, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that shop. Sometimes I come out of Pack and Save and I feel like I want to cry. And then other times I feel like I did all right. I am actually going to write to Pack and Save. I'm going to write and just say, hey, do you think it's possible that you could use butter as your loss leader rather than beer and wine? Wouldn't that be a better thing for the New Zealand population? So if anyone else is keen to pen a letter, let me know in the comments below. Or am I just being a bit deranged and delusional thinking that writing letters makes any difference at all? I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to moan about it, I should at least moan to someone who can potentially change it rather than just moaning to myself because I can't change the price of butter. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or your evening. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. If you've found any bargains this week, let us all know. Other than that, take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.